So it's been a few weeks since I last did any posting or anything, and while a lot of things haven't changed, a few things have. Not entirely sure when I will post this, because I don't really know when I'm going to do more content, but I'm at least filming this shortly before Christmas. It's about 2 weeks to go. I do have some snacks in the snack cabinet. That's probably not where they're going to live. They're probably going to go inside, but that's where they are for now. I don't remember if I showed that or not. So, I didn't do a whole lot of Black Friday shopping, but I did pick up this guy. So, I finally have a popcorn cart. It's kind of a mini one, but big enough for our needs. And I got some buckets. It was like $70 off or something. It was only like $65 or something in that ballpark. So I caved and bought one. And then as an early Christmas present, I got these two chairs from the in-laws. We were looking for something small and compact that wouldn't take up a lot of space, either for storage or to actually utilize. But I didn't want something like a regular crappy old metal folding chair either that's not going to be comfortable enough for 2 hours. So this is what they came up with. They're pretty small. They do fit behind the couch. So my thought is probably between the two speakers, because no one wants a speaker directly behind their head. That also gives me a little more floor space, and I think that mostly keeps it off the foam mat. One of the legs might touch it a little bit. I don't really care that much though, but it's mostly going to be on carpet. So if I put those there and scoot the couch forward maybe half a foot, can't really go much further than that anyway for reasons. That should give me a comfortable enough third row without taking up too much room, and I should still be able to sit on the couch without having our heads affect the projector path. It gets the front Atmos a little more in line to where I would like for those effects. The surrounds probably should scoot forward a bit. That one wouldn't be too hard to move. Although I do have, the ceiling tiles and stuff cut at this point, so it'd be a little challenging. I probably won't bother. And then this side's a little more difficult just because, there's no wall much past where that speaker is now, without changing the height anyway. So I'll probably leave that, and the couch may scoot back and forth depending on whether there's guests or not. We'll have to play around and see what works. Having the side surrounds be slightly behind you isn't necessarily the end of the world. Although with Atmos, you kind of want them a little more distant than your rear surrounds. So they should really kind of be more mid-wall. But like I said, we'll see. I could always put them into bipole mode too, so they kind of radiate sideways versus coming out. The downside with that though is you lose a little bit of directivity, sorry, and you lose some high frequency response. But again, to be determined. And then, I lived here about 3 months now. I figured maybe it's time to set up the old Xbox. It's an Xbox One. It's not a Series X. It's not even the new upgraded Xbox One X. It's an original. So I was going to go back here. I figure I have this entertainment cabinet. I can set it up here pretty easily. So this way we get a couple of benefits with that. First off, it's 95% of the time going to be used for Rock Band. So that keeps the controllers, at least the wireless ones, probably in good enough range. It might be long enough for some wired guitars. I don't really know, at least for the theater room. But I got the couch, so, it'll work fine for controllers and stuff on the TV. If I either don't necessarily need the big screen experience, and or I don't want to blow the house down with the audio, and or the lag is too bad on the projector. I mean, it should be able to adjust the latency enough. It's not like it's a fast-paced action game where it'll be fine. And, you know, the audio and stuff's kind of a little more important than whatever the score would be. I'm not going to really play competitively. I've also decided I'm going to move the DirecTV box, which I still haven't used. It's plugged in and set up, but I just don't watch regular TV. Over to this side, so this way I can actually use this TV as its monitor to change channels and stuff like that, well, without having to have a 1080p LCD monitor on the other side of the rack. So that'll be kind of moved over here and wired directly to this TV. It'll still go over to the amp for multi-zone, so I can watch it on the projector or the TV upstairs or whatever. It'd be nice to get some audio in here, especially this particular TV doesn't have great speakers. Long term, I have an old LG soundbar upstairs. Old. It's about 2019 model, I think. First gen Atmos. Its only real issue with upstairs is it doesn't have eARC. It only has ARC. So because I'm using the built-in Android TV on the A80J, the Atmos is only working if it's like Dolby Digital Plus Atmos. It doesn't have enough bandwidth for like True HD Atmos or DTSX, although that bar doesn't support DTSX anyway. So I'm getting simulated surround for most of them. I'm not really getting Atmos up there. It'll work fine down here with the Shield, since, you know, because I use it on my computer and it takes Atmos signals inbound just fine through the HDMI ports, just not through ARC. So I've been looking at picking up one of the Samsung bars. You can get the 2020, 950A, I think it is. No, 950T. Yeah, A is this year. So I can get a 950T for like $700 right now, used and or slightly damaged through Amazon Marketplace or warehouse, whatever. But I probably want the 950A for the 2 extra surround channels, and apparently it has increased the power. It's a little louder. The room correction would be nice. And they've apparently improved the latency and the wireless dropouts and LPCM versus the previous model. So it seems like it's enough of an upgrade over the T, and it's running about 1100 right now. Again, you know, reused / refurbished. So if it drops a little bit more, especially if they announce whatever they're doing next year, or I get a particularly good scratch and dent pop up, you know, if I can get it for like $850, $900, I might move that into the living room and move the SK10Y LG down here, so I have something for that TV that's not its internal speakers, and that's not the big surround sound system out here. So that's the update. I got about an hour or so before the wife comes home. About an hour and a half. I have a couple things on the table I need to wrap for that I picked up recently. So I need to get those wrapped before she shows up. And I might do a little cleaning upstairs, get the living room kind of back together. So I don't know if I'm actually going to get the Xbox hooked up. We're waiting on the popcorn machine because it's kind of going to be like a Christmas present anyway. So we're not supposed to unbox that yet. But I'll show you when it's done. And then there's some good deals on some RGB lights going on right now. They got the old generation of the RGB IC Govee strip lights. $30 off, so they're 50% off basically for the 65-foot version. That would make that gym area look pretty dang sharp. So I'm definitely considering it. I'm probably gonna go ahead and do it. Apparently there's some conflicting information. Govee has a new version, which is why the old one is discounted. And they're saying it's the Pro model. But a lot of the comments, if you can believe them, are saying they're actually not as good. They're not quite as bright. The segments are bigger on that one. It's apparently every 5 lights versus every 3 lights on the previous gen. So if it's not an upgrade, and even if it was a slight upgrade for literally half off, I'd probably go with the old one anyway. Especially, I mean, come on, it's auxiliary lighting for a gym. It's, you know, party area, whatever. It's not like I need the latest and greatest tech. Other than that, things have been going alright. I don't know if I ever mentioned it. I did have one issue with my Ring video doorbell. It just stopped working randomly one day. I poked at it a bit and it started working. It was probably a loose wire or just some condensation on the wires. They're not real sealed back there. Just use the wire nut and they're exposed to the elements. Probably not the best, but I mean, for the most part, it's working fine. Simba is still here and doing great. He's a mostly good cat, although he really loves his ribbon and presents and plastic eating. So we definitely got to watch that with him. We have our friend Pua here from Moana. Well, he was down here visiting the last time we watched that about a week ago. I have started separating the plush, so a lot of the movie squad have come down here. Haven't really come out yet. And then I got the holiday plush upstairs in one of the rooms. So I started kind of making progress in that room. Still haven't done Jack in my office yet. Just haven't really done much over here yet. I've cleaned up the mess from all the Christmas decorations to a degree. I just put the floor back down. I had it up to dry and to see where our moisture levels were going to be at. But I put it back down finally. There's actually booze and stuff in the bar now. So our little stash is actually where it belongs instead of just hanging out randomly either in the office or in the kitchen. I still have to clean up this area. I mean, stuff's not really back on the shelves yet. The rack is still turned from when I was messing with the frequency measuring of the channels. I just remember I have to change the cables in the back because you can't do Atmos, at least not with my hardware for Rue. So I need to eventually turn that back and get everything tacked down. But I do want to do more measurements, so I haven't really worried about it yet. But yeah, that's the story, that's the update. I'll show more once I actually hook up the Xbox, get the cable box moved. Satellite box, actually, more specifically, it's DirecTV. And then probably set up the popcorn maker, show how the chairs look back there, things like that. But this brings you up to speed of what's been going on recently, at least. I'll catch y'all later. Well, I guess we're ready for the basement party. Giant Jenga set up. Popcorn maker's built. That thing was a pain in the butt to build. Oh my god, I hate the cart. Why is Google bugging me? Go like Google. But yeah, so that was a trial. But he's built. Got a sleepy kitty. I haven't hooked up the Xbox yet, but there's a reason for that, other than just being lazy and tired. I will share that here in a minute. Also, no, I have not yet fixed that yet. It's on the list. I like it down here. You know, this is the first time I'm sitting in the back row. There's a lot of thump back here. Actually, more so than at the actual couch position. I really need to get another subwoofer down here so I can balance this bass out a bit. But someday, probably like in May, we'll get down to Florida and get that resolved. It's also like 4 in the morning, so I'm not even being all that loud, at least not in my opinion. But yeah, it's like significantly bassier back here. I mean, let's see if the GoPro will pick any of this up. So, back row. And normal seating position. I can't really move the subwoofer because it's too big to put anywhere else besides behind the screen. And I don't think moving it left or right is really going to be an issue. It's more of a front and back thing. I could probably push it back a little bit, see if that helps. Either that or removing the couch. But I don't really have a lot of ways to do that either, because as it is, I'm kind of at the limits of where it can go before I cut off the beam with my head. So, I don't know. I think the only solution is another subwoofer. Right, so remember how I said I was going to hook up the Xbox One because I didn't have an X and wasn't really all that worried about it? Well, plans change. I was at work one night, overnight, as I am, and I saw a sign on the electronics counter that they had a couple Xbox One X's in stock. This was also during our 20% double discount versus our 10% discount and Santa Bucks. So I jumped on it and I got a One X for $379. So I'm not going to be mad at that. Even if I don't play any next gen stuff, my Xbox One is getting on the older side, and the fact that the X has an SSD should make Rock Band the primary game that I play, when I play games anyway, load significantly faster. And then we'll try out Game Pass, and maybe I'll dabble in more games that I currently am keen to do. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and hook that one up instead. Although I do need to boot this guy up, because I thought I had ejected the CD before I had packed it. And take two. What I was about to say is I thought I had ejected the CD before moving the console and packing it away, but I couldn't find my Rock Band CD. Now apparently I have two, because I bought Rock Band 4 and then I rebought it as a kit when Rivals came out, because it was like not that much more and I got a bunch of new instruments. Anyway, I found the case, but the case was empty. But while my battery died, I just opened up the box for the Xbox One, and the Rock Band CD was in there in kind of a donor case. It was in this of all things. So yeah, I found the CD. Now, it shouldn't really matter which one I put in. This is the one I was using on the console, because I did Rivals digitally. But either way, I'm going to go ahead and use that one. Also, I don't know if I ever mentioned it, but I'm going to put the Series X and the cable box over on this side, and run HDMI cables over to the amp, instead of leaving them on that side with a single HDMI coming over the TV. Yeah, it's going to be more cables through the wall, which I may or may not put a hole in behind the TV. I mean, it's cheap paneling. I don't think anyone's really going to care. Or I may ride them over to where that other hole is for the Ethernet jacks. But either way, I'd rather have the equipment over here for ease of access, but I still want to go through the amp for audio quality and for switching, and so I can route it to the TV here, the TV upstairs, and the projector. But yeah, I'd rather do that and just run longer cords over the wall and back. But I'm gonna get this puppy unboxed. I was debating about flipping it, because they are going for like $900 on eBay, and like a $500 profit seems pretty worth it. But then I remembered shipping and eBay fees. Apparently eBay fees are like 12%, to use their payment processor. So it'd be more like $150 to $200 in profit if I can even sell it for $900, which seems less likely now that we're past Christmas. But, you know, screw it. I'd rather own one. Who the hell knows when I'm going to get another chance to get one. Certainly won't be as cheap. So I'm going to just go ahead and unbox it and keep it for myself. Also, while the battery died, I had a mild panic attack because I hadn't put the battery charger back in the GoPro case. And I didn't remember seeing it upstairs in my office the last time I was up there. So it's like, well, great, now I gotta go find the battery. But when I came in here to put the console over here and to switch scenes, it's like, oh yeah, there it is in front of the TV, because I was using over here to charge it the last time I used this a couple months ago. So that was a crisis averted. I need to figure out power. I don't really want to run all the power cords back and forth. You know, the TV is right now, but that was kind of always going to be a temporary thing anyway. I have a big long silver strip that's kind of cool that I got from one of the in-laws. I think I was originally going to use it behind the screen, but I didn't end up needing that. So I think I'm going to put it back here. It's got nice wide spacing. Looks kind of industrial if you do see it under the TV. I think it'll be a nice fit. And it's got a pretty long cord. So I think that's what we're going to end up doing. I just got to find it. I think I know where it is. But to be determined. I'll see you in a bit. Well, that's better. I finally got all the extra foam bits from the sound absorption material off of there, the little scraps. I'll get rid of them at some point, but I'm not totally convinced I don't need them for something. We'll see. So here's the strip. Not bad, right? Probably clean it up a little bit. The cord, however, is not as long as I expected. So either I need to get an extension cord for it, or, you know, it's cute enough, I might just mount it to the wall. Kind of have it like an accent piece coming down. I mean, plus this is the gym area. It's not like aesthetics matter all that much, you know. I mean, here's my breaker panel. Although, you know, Linus Tech Tips keeps pimping those display people. Maybe I get a display magnetic, like, art piece for that or something. Not a bad idea. But I'm gonna go ahead and start working on these cords. For right now, I'm just gonna throw this over the wall and kind of see where it lands and go from there. I also need to clean up these shelves, obviously. Not even really sure where I'm putting the Xbox yet. Can't go on the shelf in front of the TV. I could go behind it, but I want to show it off a little bit, I think. But I don't know if those shelves are big enough. Although I'm pretty sure, yeah, these are removable or adjustable, so I should be able to make it work somehow. Slight change of plans for the moment. I don't think I have enough, long enough, new enough HDMI cables to really put the things I want over on this side. The Shield can stay where it is because it doesn't really need direct access to anything. I have some long HDMIs, but A, I don't know where they are. Hey, Simba. And B, I don't think I have enough. And C, they're on the older side. So I don't know that I'm really going to get full throughput through them. So I'll head to Amazon and get some of those. I also have to see if I need any longer network cables. I got some short ones, and I got some really long ones. I don't know that I have much kind of in the middle. I'll have to go upstairs to my office, check out my miscellaneous cable drawer, and see what I got. But for right now, the Xbox is on the other side of the wall, sitting on top of the entertainment rack. It's got direct access to the TV. I'm not going to go through the amp right now. Simba, you can't fit in there, buddy. See the cat? It will eventually, but for right now I just want to get the updates, because as you can see it's doing an update. And what's this about everything having an app? Do I really need the Xbox mobile app? It doesn't even tell me what it's going to do, and yet it wants me to go and install it. My phone's upstairs in the same place that everything else is in the office right now, so I'm not real worried about that right this second. I shouldn't need it. But yeah, we'll get this thing updated and installing. It's gonna take forever to download all the updates and DLC and stuff, I'm sure. I really need to clean the front of this TV too. But yeah, I gotta order some cables and go from there. But at least it's set up and I can see it. Also, I got a surprise package in the mail. I saw an ad for some Build-A-Bears, including Sisu from Raya and the Last Dragon. And it was like an ad in Facebook Marketplace, and they were giving you 20% off and free shipping. And apparently Build-A-Bear shipping sucks on their website currently. I remember when they used to be able to get free shipping all the time for anything over 50. But in any event, the box showed up today. I haven't even gotten a shipment confirmation. They haven't charged me yet. So, kind of random and weird. But, yeah, I don't know. That was a nice surprise. I got tonight off. I was off last night, so this is going to be my second night off. It was mostly spent doing a random projects upstairs, putting some more Christmas away. Not any of the actual decorations, but just like the wrapping paper and ribbon that we're not going to need anymore till next year. Do a little bit of cleaning and stuff like that. The wife's off today, so I don't know how much time I'm going to really have to get away and do stuff down here. But I kind of got the itch and the bug to work on the basement again. Maybe make some more progress with the lighting and things like that. To be determined. I see in a bit. So what, it's been like 2 months since I talked about any of the lighting issues. Well, let's see if this works. It's gonna go up there. Hopefully enough for that to adhere to it, and I'm gonna screw it into the ceiling. See if that works. Well, in theory it should even out some of the unevenness of the ceiling too. But this stuff is really thin and crappy. Like I said, it's just filling from the curtains. So I've already poked through once. So you gotta be careful not to go too tight. And we'll see if it actually holds up, but you know, it's a thought. At least this is a proof of concept that this works. I can just use like some thin wood or thicker cardboard or something. So this is the same tape that's been on here since the last couple of failed attempts. I'm going to go ahead and swap that out because it's not very sticky at this point. Might as well give it the best chance for success. Also, I don't know if I showed it off yet, but there's the popcorn maker. That thing was such a pain in the butt to assemble. It just, the instructions were crappy. It was kind of weird. But it's together and I like it. On second thought, it's got a really good bond on this side to the other tape. And it doesn't really want to come off. So I just, this side did not have such a good bond to it. So I just flipped it over, peeled the red off of it, because I didn't actually peel the red on this side. So we'll see what happens. So the fresh side of the tape on this side, old side on this side. We'll just see what happens. Can always redo it if I need to. Well, for better or for worse, it's up there. We'll see if it stays. Obviously there's a little bit of light bleed. Of course it's on the back side. So I might have to either marker that or use a little bit of black tape. See if it's tacky or not. I don't know. But it's up. Obviously, there should be a better way of doing this entire thing. But I'm almost never looking up. Just want something to cover up the bulb and make it look a little classier. Also, kind of as a side, finally had an opportunity to basically directly compare a movie I've seen in theaters versus a movie I've seen here. So a couple of days ago, we went and saw Sing 2 at NCG. It was a standard presentation, not IMAX or enhanced, or I don't even think it was an Atmos. And it was fine. I was actually surprised at how gray their blacks was on the screen when it was pretty dark. You could still see, a very gray representation of black. But, it's fine. And then a few days after that, they released it to on demand. So I downloaded and watched it here. And I liked it better here. First off, definitely Atmos. I had way better blacks than they did. And of course, I'm closer, so even though the screen is smaller, considering it was directly in front, good height, and a lot closer, it was a much more enjoyable experience. There was also no children running around, no parents getting up and down all the time. I could make it whatever volume I wanted. I did find the tipping point on the subwoofer where it actually does start vibrating like the walls and stuff. So I turned it back a little because the rumble was a little distracting. It might have just been because the popcorn maker was there, because that's kind of the area it was coming from. But yeah, once I put it back down to like -8 dB, it was fine. Above like 5 dB, and it's like Rattle City, so something to consider. But yeah, this was a good investment. I much enjoyed the presentation here, more so than the theater. I certainly didn't lose anything. It looked as good, if not better. Definitely sounded better. So yeah, go me. It's been like 3 minutes and so far so good. I'm really tired of looking at that bulb, so I'm at least gonna get started. Because like I said, if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. I can always redo it. I'm not really losing out on anything. The principle is pretty much going to be the same no matter what material I use. But I'm going to at least try to get it to this stage, and we'll see what happens. Well, I just realized one disadvantage of putting the shade over here like I'm planning to is I'm going to lose this outlet. Which isn't a huge deal. I did use it the other day to plug in my shop vac, so I could vacuum at the popcorn maker. And I finally took care of those spider webs over there that have been bugging me since the day we moved in. You say I still need to do something with this. I haven't really taken care of that yet. Someday. But, it's fine. I have other power down here. It's not the end of the world. Bonus is it's going to probably help tighten this up. Downside is it's also going to put more strain on the tape. So we'll have to see what happens. There's definitely a lot of light bleed on this side too. I'm going to see if a small thing of black tape is going to make it look tacky or not. It's not leaving much left, is it? But it doesn't really need much to be able to glue to. Also, it's slightly concerned that it's off center, but it actually should be fine because this side here, I'm actually going to tuck under the light a little bit, which is why I did that, because it'll actually will fit, I think, help all support it. Also, inside news, or other news, none of this has fallen since I did those 2 side screws. Haven't had a panel move, everything seems fine. So far so good. Well, it looks different because it's a different light fixture. 3 of the sides should be okay. I'm hoping there's enough overlap on this right-hand side for the shade to actually connect to. I'm gonna have to test that before I actually screw it up there. I might have to cut more here so I can slide it down. I gotta make sure, actually, because this side's probably too far out, so it's gonna look weird. So yeah, let me see where it lines up. Yeah, I called that one. Side to side is fine. Or front to back, rather. but it definitely needs to slide over some more. I should probably mark that so I know kind of where. But yeah, it should be fine. Doesn't need a lot to secure it. It's a pretty thin edge that it's connecting to anyway. But yeah, I need to cut a little and move it over. Also, while I got you here, well, A, giant Jenga. Ooh. But B, this is starting to come together. So I got the Xbox down there, the One X, or Series X, I guess we're calling it now. Haven't moved over the cable box yet. Eventually I'll get there. Haven't really put the outlet strip in its final home yet either. That's just kind of temporary. But I got cable over from the TV and back over for the Xbox. I also got it wired up so I could do the Xbox either on that TV, on this screen, or upstairs. One thing that's going to be kind of annoying is, so the 7706 really has two zones for video. The third zone for video, at least for HDMI, seems to just mirror the first. At least that's all I can seem to get it to do. It doesn't look like I can do a different source for video on 1 and 3, but I can for 1 and 2. Also, 3 doesn't have audio unless I turn off audio going through the AVR. I have to set it to TV for 3, but for 2 I got audio just fine, with a different zone playing with different audio on zone 1 versus 2. What that all means is, originally I had the zone 2 upstairs, and zone 3 was going to be this TV, but that means there's not going to be a way of listening to the audio both up here and back there if I'm playing the same source. It would just be an extra monitor with no audio. Although I could probably run like zone 3 audio to it, just not via HDMI. I have to do some more research. Or it means that would be the issue upstairs. So for right now I have it set to zone 2 down here, so I can play the Xbox and Rock Band on that back TV if I want to, without really even having to turn the AVR on. And then I'm just going to have to switch the cable back and forth between upstairs and down here, depending on which one I want to be able to do a different zone. It's complicated and hard to explain, but I think you more or less get the idea. Either the TV upstairs is going to be a mirror, or the TV back here is going to be a mirror. I can't get them both to do different things from the main screen. Unless I make this zone 3, because it's got no speakers anyway, then sound going through the AVR is not a problem. And then have the TV upstairs as a zone, say, 2, and the TV back here is a zone 1. That's something to consider. But we'll see. It's very rare that I'm going to be using that anyway. Usually if I'm down here, it's to watch something on this with the full surround sound. The only reason I even have the cable running upstairs is so if I want to watch the cable box up there, which I haven't turned on since we've moved in, to be honest. Or if I want to play Rock Band up there, which I did test. The controller reaches just fine. Rock Band on the TV down here is kind of shitty anyway, because the speakers on that TV are lousy. I don't really have a way of getting TV out of that, or audio out of that. It doesn't have an 1/8 inch, so I can't hook up my water speakers like I was planning. It doesn't have Bluetooth, so I can't Bluetooth to it or anything else either. So I need either some sort of soundbar with an ARC or an optical in the Xbox can't go Bluetooth out either. So yeah, it's more or less just if I want to watch or play the Xbox on the TV where I don't want to use my bulb life, or for less lag. But the lag I can compensate for. It's much better doing it on here, and especially when I put the LED strip lights in music mode, it's pretty fun. So yeah, I'm just trying to figure out options as far as best to give me flexibility. But for the most part, I'm going to be watching on this anyway, so it's kind of a moot point. Anyway, we're going to be going to bed here pretty soon, so I'm thinking I'm going to end it here as far as progress. It's also pretty long at this point, considering all the stuff I filmed, so I'm probably going to go ahead and stop here and upload it. And then I'll give you an update in whatever future video about whether that stayed. That should be up by then if it does stay. And whatever other trinkets I throw in there. This house is still decorated for Christmas. I've started unplugging stuff and pulling down like the window lights and stuff. But I still have all the trees and stuff up, so at some point soon-ish that's going to take some time. And of course I'm still working full-time with not a lot of days off, and when you're working third shift and you don't have 2 days in a row off together, makes getting the motivation to do stuff very difficult. Today I actually went out in my garage and cleaned that out because I had a bunch of just empty boxes. I had bought some more Sterilite shelves for in there to do basically the whole front wall, because there was a pretty good sale on them between double discount and everything else pre-holiday. So I finally got all those put together. Plus we've had some bad weather already. We got more bad weather coming. So the car could fit in there the way it was, but not right now it's just got the shelves in there. Nothing else is in the middle. We got all the room in the world to put the car in there without it really being a problem. So it'll be good. So it's ready to go if we ever do get some more bad weather, which I think we're expecting some of the next day or two. Anyway, this is long. I'm rambling. I'm getting tired. I'm going to go ahead and call it. We'll see you guys in the next one.